According to a new report that has come out, the New York Mets are going to do whatever it takes. And that's not me saying this. This is Jon Heyman, one of the more credible reporters in Major League Baseball. He is saying that the Mets are going to do whatever it takes to sign Juan Soto this offseason. So let's break down the new report and much more on this episode of 3 Up, 3 Down. Welcome in, everybody, to 3 Up, 3 Down. I'm your host, Peter Vryonis, and today we're going to be breaking down the new development in the Juan Soto sweepstakes from a Mets perspective, of course. But before we get into the video, I want to let you know that a large percentage of you who are watching are not subbed to the channel. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button because we're very close to my goal of 2,000. And by the time that you watch this video, we may already be at 2,000. So thank you guys so much for all the support. It really means the world to me. But let's not waste any time. Let's get straight into the video. And Jon Heyman, of course, that was the report that I was referencing in the introduction to this video. I've heard rumors that Steve Cohen will write a check for whatever it takes to land Juan Soto. Now, as we know, we got to take this with a grain of salt because Jon Heyman has had his series of flubs in the past. Most notably, Arson Judge signing with the San Francisco Giants, which ultimately did not end up happening. And Juan Soto is a Scott Boras client. We know Scott Boras loves to move the needle in terms of market value, and he will do whatever it takes to get his client the most amount of money possible, humanly possible, on the open market and free agency. So and he's got a good relationship with Jon Heyman. He feeds him information, maybe to drive up the price of certain free agents, maybe to entice some other ball clubs that maybe are not as in on the sweepstakes as you would think they are. So Jon Heyman, I think he's a good reporter. I think he's reliable, but he does tend to have his biases. And when it comes to the New York teams, I don't think there's a more biased reporter when we're talking about just the Mets and the Yankees there. But Heyman is Heyman, and according to Jeff Passan, it sounds like there will be final rounds of meetings with Juan Soto this weekend, and that's when his decision will be made. So we're still a few days out from an actual signature going down with Soto. And he also notes the Yankees, Mets, Red Sox, Dodgers, and Blue Jays are still in it, so encouraging if you're a Red Sox, Dodgers, and Blue Jays fan. But we all think that this is a two-team race at the current moment in time, and I think it would be foolish to think otherwise. He spent a season in New York already with the Yankees, went to the World Series with them. Maybe there's a semblance of unfinished business that he wants to take care of and go back to the Bronx. That's one way to look at it. But will the offer be as large as the New York Mets and Steve Cohen are willing to give? That's something that I'm not so sold on if I'm a Yankee fan. Like Hal Steinbrenner, the way that he has operated recently, no one is above the team. Nobody. So Aaron Judge, their captain, signs a $360 million deal or something of that nature, $300 to $360 million deal, which takes him into his age 40 season. That's a lot of bread. A lot of bread for a guy who has struggled in the playoffs, but he is their captain. He is their star player. He is a two-time MVP at the Major League Baseball level. So he's going to get paid. Now, you're going to tell me the Yankees are going to turn around and give his running mate, his Robin, in a sense, throughout the regular season, 2 times more money than him? I find that very hard to believe. Now, he's younger. I think he's more durable than Aaron Judge as well, and I think that contract would age a lot better. But you have your captain, you have the face of your franchise making a fraction of what this guy who has spent 1 year in the Bronx is making. I just don't know if Hal Steinbrenner and the rest of the Yankees brass are going to be willing to sign up for that. And the bidding may even go higher than $700 million if it goes back and forth between the Mets and the Yankees, and the Blue Jays swoop in there and give a higher offer than both of them. So we've been hearing all along that the Blue Jays are going to make the highest offer, and it still may not be enough to pry him into Toronto, and that's entirely possible. I think he is going to end up going to the New York Mets, but when I hear stuff like this, Steve Cohen will write a check for whatever it takes to land Juan Soto, I just don't believe that Hal Steinbrenner is in that same line of thinking. And if I'm a Yankee fan, I'm worried about this. I'm definitely worried about them not re-signing Juan Soto, and the fact that they've had meetings with Max Fried, they've had meetings with other players as well. To me, it shows that maybe they're evaluating some of their backup plans, and they want Juan Soto to come back, but at the right price. And it's going to take more than the $350 million that they gave to Aaron Judge. That's a given. With his age combination and the success and the track record that he has had at the big league level, he's going to get more money than Aaron Judge. There's no question about that. But how much more are they going to be willing to give? How much more are they comfortable with? What lengths are they willing to go to? I think there is a limit to what the Yankees are going to be willing to do in these sweepstakes, but I don't think there is a limit to what Steve Cohen will be willing to do. And Heyman was asked about Pete Alonso, and he said, I'll say one thing about that. Landing Soto would help the Mets keep Alonso. And of course, we see this a lot. Once you do add the golden goose on the free agent market, we'll circle back to last offseason with Shohei Ohtani signing with the Dodgers. We saw them go out and sign Yoshinobu Yamamoto. We saw them get Teoscar Hernandez. They added. They traded at the deadline for Tommy Edman. They got whatever pieces they needed to get to assure themselves of a World Series. They bought their way to a World Series. And pretty much any team can do that, by the way. Any team has a billionaire owner. Any team can go to the lengths that the Dodgers are willing to go every single season, but they just don't, which is why you see the same teams go deep in the playoffs every year, and every now and then you get a miracle run, and then those guys lose their players because they're not able to pay them, or they just don't want to pay them. So it's a cycle in Major League Baseball. We see the teams that spend the most amount of time at the top. That's just the way it goes. And if you're not willing to go to the lengths that the Dodgers go to, that the Mets go to, that the Rangers went to a couple of years ago in the offseason, you're just not going to get far. And you're not going to achieve what you want to achieve when it comes to winning a World Series. So I'll bring back this pie chart here. MLB Network, they think that the Mets have a 37% chance, the Jays, surprisingly, with a 30% chance, and then the Yankees at 22%. So, I don't know. I do believe that it is a two-team race between the Mets and the Yankees, but I'm not as plugged in as John Heyman and Jeff Passan, nor will I ever be. At least I don't think so. So, for now, I'm just reading what I'm seeing, and I'm conveying it to you guys. So, thank you so much for all the support. That'll wrap it up for this episode of 3 Up, 3 Down. And I will see you all tomorrow. Let me know in the comments down below, where is Soto going to sign? And if it's the Mets, how much do you think it'll be for? See ya.